You just bought 2 companies yesterday.
We did.
Last time I had you on in October, you had just bought Liquor.com. You bought Brides as well last year. So I kind of get the thesis. You're rolling up a lot of these businesses. Where do you go with this sustainability play, though?
So we bought 2 businesses. One is called TreeHugger. One is called Mother Nature Network. They're common owner. They were very related. We, as you know from being here before, we are a service publisher. We publish content that is a need-to-know content. We're not news. We're not sports. We're content that helps people. We think green content is the next great opportunity in what's going on in the space, in that people really need information on these topics. People are very curious about information on these topics. You see organizations like your own launching big efforts around sustainability and green content, and we had an opportunity to acquire 2 of the oldest brands in the space. They've been around a long time, a lot of credibility, and we're very excited. We're very excited about the space.
Okay, so in the shareholder letter today, the parent company IAC, Joey Levine, CEO, said that you guys at Dotdash, he was backing you to go out and acquire more content than any of your competitors. Isn't that just a smart way of saying we're going to go and buy users?
I mean, it is, but we don't really look at it that way because we're not. Most of the things we've been buying are fairly small. I think in publishing today, you'll see it's hard to be a small publisher because we have tons of resources and tons of data. We have 120 engineers and 140-person editorial team. We can really help grow these small assets. So when we go out and buy brands like Mother Nature Network and TreeHugger, it's a bet that this is something that we can grow, that these are really good brands, and that this is an area that we want to be in.
Okay, but what do you guys have that big media doesn't? Because big media has failed consistently, right, in this race for content, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people have come unstuck in that fight. How are you guys going to do it differently?
So there's this narrative on publishing that it's like somehow like a broken business and doesn't work. I think it's just there's a number of businesses that just haven't had a lot of discipline. And we're super disciplined. We do service content, which is need-to-know content, which is I need to make something, cook something, diagnose something. So we have brands in health and brands in finance and brands in home and brands in food. And when we see service brands, brands that help people, those are the brands that are attracted to us. Like, we're not buying sports sites, we're not buying news sites, we're not buying gossip sites, we're not like trying to launch something on TikTok. We're trying to make content that really helps people. In the case of green environmental content, sustainability is the word everyone's using now. We think we're at the very, very beginning of what is a really growing interest in these topics among consumers, among businesses, among advertisers. We think it's really, really going mainstream now.
But what's most important here? Because the brands themselves are not ones that everyone is familiar with in the way that they might be with a big sports media brand or with a big, as you say, gossip brand. But as you say, they need to know information, what they provide. How do you get them better known so you can actually grow that usership when people aren't necessarily?
It's a really good question. So what we do, we're very different than most publishers. We are focused on 3 things. We make the fastest sites we can make on the internet. We try and have the best, most helpful content on every topic. And we do significantly less advertising accept less advertising per page than other people do. So one thing you'll notice if you're a user and you go to our sites, there'll never be a pre-roll on a video. There'll never be a pop-up. We're not going to try and sign you up for a bunch of crap. So when you have great content and a respectful ad experience, and your sites are super fast, you can build brands. And we have some really well-known brands, like a lot of the viewers here probably know Investopedia. That's our brand. We have a consumer finance business called
You know our viewers.
I know your viewers. I am one of them. And you know, with Mother Nature and with TreeHugger, and we have a big home brand called The Spruce and a health brand called Verywell, we're building brands based on this experience we're giving users, and it's working.
Let me just ask you lastly about IAC, a very successful company over a long period of time, turns 25 this year.
Yes.
In an era where conglomerates are really being kind of, not loved hugely by the market, how is IAC different?
So I can't speak for IAC versus other conglomerates. What I can speak for is someone who runs a business as part of IAC. And what I can say is it's from Barry Diller to Joey Levine to the rest of the crew, it is some of the smartest people in the world. There is pattern recognition. There is very little that they haven't seen, which is incredibly helpful. It gives us access to capital, access to people. We can buy things. We can compensate people properly. And more importantly, and in our case, we've been at this a long time. It took us a little bit to figure out our model. There's this incredible patience that they have, and patience to invest and patience to get behind a model. And they've been very patient with us, just like they have been with Match, and it's been really effective.